He is the Member of Parliament for Lunte constituency. He is a former Minister of Transport and Communications and former Minister of Works and Supply in the Patriotic Front regime. Always a pleasure to have you, Honorable, and good to see you. Welcome to the Burning Issue.
The pleasure is mine, Zaki. I'm happy to join you this morning. Good morning to you. Good morning to our listeners.
Great. Now, today we have two critical conversations. Also, we are taking advantage of the fact that you have an accounting background. And as a result of that, I would like us to have a look at what is burning. And this burning issue is the forensic audit. We will also precede that with a conversation just to recap on the statement that was issued and action that was taken by the U.S. government through the Ambassador Gonzalez. And we'll have a look at that. And now he is also trending, and he is a topic of discussion. We'll have a look at that issue in detail. Let's start by looking at the U.S. Ambassador Gonzalez, and of course issued a statement, and it since then there has been a lot of discussion around the action that the U.S. government has taken through the ambassador. Yeah. What are your thoughts?
Zaki, thank you so much for that very loaded preamble to your questioning. You mentioned two important issues. But before I answer your first question, right, just allow me to say some things which have been burning in my heart, of course, concerning the Patriotic Front and the UPND. Firstly, before I even go to that, if you may allow me to congratulate the Catholic Church on the election of their new Pope. And I wish them all the very best for the leadership of the new Pope. I think the conclave showed that there are no electoral disputes. This world can remain without electoral disputes. This is why I call upon President Hakainde Hichilema to remove Mwangala Zalomis and McDonald Penzi from ECZ because they are UPND cadres. Remove them so that we can have elections like the conclave, where nobody accuses the other that the administrator of this electoral process is actually aligned. Now, the issue which concerns me regarding the PF UPND is when I look at the UPND as they commission projects which were commenced by the Patriotic Front. I think they say a lot of bad things about PF. That should come to an end. Recently, UPND commissioned the Kafwaya Dam. And what the views which came out of there are very, very bad views concerning the PF, if you ask me. The Kafwaya Dam, when PF left office, it was at 84%. 84%. UPND has only done the meager 16%. No new financing, just to complete it. 16%. And you go and say all those bad things about PF. I think you need to be You need to be shameful. You need to feel the shame to say some of those things. You need to stop. Look, Zaki, that is exactly the same thing that was said that at the recommissioning of the Kafue Gorge Lower. That project was at 80% when PF left office. You just come and contribute 20% on financing agreements that were already completed. And you say all the bad things as though PF did nothing. You need to be ashamed as UPND. UPND even claimed the Kazungula Bridge. The Kazungula Bridge, which was 100% complete, and it was even commissioned. The UPND went to claim it, just for the hatred of PF. Look at this project here in Lusaka, the Kenneth Kaunda wing of the Mulungushi International Conference Center. Completed 42 million United States dollars gifted to the PF government by the Chinese, only to be commissioned by UPND. Listen to what they are saying. 100% complete. listen to their views. Now, I don't want to go through those views, but I'm just saying to UPND, if they are listening, they should stop hating PF and Edgar Lungu to that extent that you can't recognize 84% of work done. You only come and do 16% in 4 years. And you are even in Kalakatimba. You know, you quite saying Kalakatimba. What are you talking about? 16% in 4 years? Be serious. These milling plants, Isaac, were 100% completed by PF. What do you say about those milling plants? If you go to Kaputa there, we have a water reticulation plant, which was done by PF, but it was commissioned by UPND via our owner, the Vice President. What are the views coming off there? If we begin to consider what UPND began and completed, look at their commissioning. The President went to commission a one room in Kasama. One room. That is a legacy for UPND. That is what they should be talking about. If they are saying in Nkarakatimba, you go and talk about the toilets. Toilets in Kwacha. Those are the things you should be talking about, because those belong to UPND from start to finish. Or you can be talking about CDF police. CDF police land cruisers. Talk about the CDF ambulances. That's your legacy.
But how does this...
My brother, I've not even answered your question.
I know, but while at it, how does this not sit well with you?
It doesn't sit well with me because you cannot ridicule Edgar Lungu and PF, who have done 84% of the dam.
Which statement really gets to you?
There was one minister who was saying balifililwe ukupwishechi ababa PF baisa bule ndarama babika mutumba. You understand? Babika mutumba nomba kwaise nkalakatimba yatemwa abantu yaisa pwisha. Did you tell them that Nkalakatimba has only done 16%? Did you tell the people that? Did you tell the people that? That Chabwaba, even Darama, Vikram Tumba, they did 84%. Be serious. Ukuivendalaman, Yukukulelanda, Po Gonzalez, Equivendalaman, come to that's a question you asked me. The other thing I wanted to say before I answer your question, Zaki, is to remind you, PNG, that recently you imported maize from Tanzania. Not long ago, you imported maize. I want to remind you that some of that maize had diseases, aflatoxins. For the first time in many years, we were having maize with aflatoxins. So that maize, according to Ambassador Gonzalez, was bought at 40% higher than the market price. 40% higher. And that maize, some of it has not even come to this country. You understand? So we are now going into the marketing season for the Zambian people. I want to challenge the UPND government. Go and buy maize to the Zambians at that same price at which you bought maize from Tanzania. That will demonstrate two things, in my view. Number one, it will demonstrate that you are patriotic, you love Zambians as much as you love foreigners. Number two, it will show that indeed you bought that maize at a market price, because you are arguing that the price you paid in Tanzania was actually market price. So let that market price also prevail. Endani mkagule chimanga kuma farmers wa Muzambia pali umtengo wamene uja wamene munaendo gula kuma foreigners, so that you can show that you love your Zambian people the same way you love foreigners. Because we have been accusing UPND of loving foreigners more than Zambians. This is why we think they export power when Zambia is having load shedding. That's what we have been saying. So show us that your love for the people is just as good, just as much as you love foreigners, by going to the Zambian farmers and buying their maize at the same rate at which you bought maize with diseases, aflatoxins. Let me come to your question, Zach.
Right.
I am disappointed that the Zambian government would be met 33 times by a foreign government, urging them to act on theft of drugs or theft of donations. And yet the Zambian government would fail to do anything. Until that foreign government decides to start withdrawing their support to the poor Zambians. I am hurt by the fact that government decided to act in that fashion. What government needed to do at their first meeting when the ambassador put across the problems that he had observed in that value system, they needed to act and demonstrate that they had actually acted. But listen, I was listening to the former Director General at ZAMSA, who was fired, remember?
Victor Nyasuru.
Victor Nyasuru. I was listening to him a while ago, and he's saying, the minister, you know, the ambassador is annoyed. In fact, it's not the ambassador. The American people are annoyed. They are withdrawing their support. And then the ministers come, you know, to the public to come and tell lies. Nyasulu is saying, I was not fired for what the ambassador is saying. I was fired for the 61 containers. Procurement of the 61 containers. That's what he's saying. This is the reason they fired me. This theft of American donated drugs is something else. Number namwishvati abantu n'abafulwa abanipela omuti n'abafulwa bena balandira kone chalo. They come and speak on behalf of those for whom they donate, the poor people. You, instead of handling that as government, by the way, instead of handling that issue, you go around and start saying, no, we acted, we fired Nyasuru. Have you seen? Nyasuru has said, your firing him has got nothing to do with theft of. So now there are two things. Those containers is one issue, and the stolen medicine is another. What type of government are you? Mwashitomu 61 containers mwayafisa. You buy 61 containers mwayafisa mwatamfya na Nyasuru and some directors. Then no mutifyo bale tafe donate abantu abaluse. Ati bale nwako aba malaria, bale nwako aba HIV, bale nwako aba kwete ayamalwele yale kanandika nao mwaibisha nangu mwaiba. What type of people are you? This is bad for our nation. It is very bad, Zaki. It's very, very bad. But somebody who hasn't been following you, PNG, can think that bukabwala lelo bwayamba. If we kale tuatampiro kulanda pari bukabwala lelo bwa PNG. Kale tuatampiro kulanda ukweba abantu ati ba PNG ni bakabwala not bakabwala la bakwangalako. Mone ni fia chiteka kuli Sujlight. Sujlight baliva. Yaba kuisaida Sujlight baikete. Nobody can come and tell you. If we because to live in Zambia, ngatulei pusha yaba kuisa Sujlight. Mwatola kuisa Sujlight mwaikete ku Central Province. Tetiba tuasuke. Kano ama foreign governments. Bena bale mkwasuka. Ero mkwasuka namo abo bale yasko bale atibale bepobufi. What type of people are you? You have to change. Tule pusha lithium iliabaikete lithium yaba kuisa. Lithium iliabaikete yaba kuisa. Tabafwayo kwasuka. Ku National Assembly zake, ku National Assembly kulyanga wayako committee ya Munandi Fred Chatila yali ile ku KCM kuyasanga ku KCM kulya kwali ba company ishiri KCM abale imbomu kuba na vendetta tabalamuleta uyu vendetta wa UPND nishtabalamuleta bale imbomu kuba full scale. We raised those concerns. It is quiet. Tapari ulanda po God na mwibusha God pa Lusaka International Airport. Ku presidential pavilion baiba God yaisa chinja no kuchinja one scientist, one minister scientist yaichinja katushinga ichinjishani yaisa sanka zinc, yaisa sanka copper, ya ifyale kanareka no kwa but kwena ba UPND na sheniko mwabifye chalo chachira mu chipimo. This is too bad. So this thieving which is coming. And if you follow these diplomats, the first diplomat to tell UPND that you are corrupt was actually the Swedish ambassador. Ewa ishilela and that by UPND too much corruption. The Swedish people will not be able to bring investment in this country because there is too much corruption. So you won't be surprised that another diplomat may be feeling the same way. Another country, which is a cooperating partner, may be feeling the same way. The only way you can change this narrative is by stopping stealing. Kule kokwiva mwamba nomba nokumona kutira whoever steals mwamwikata. Eronga mwaikate omuntu mwalanda nechishinka. Noti mwaikate omuntu ati umuntu narufyanya kuchongwe. Kukafiwa kwa abo mulando ati no ero abantu bafurwa kukafiwa kuchongwe tabeshe ati no uli atwaikete FDF ya kukafiwe. No, just tell them uli atwaikete fya kuchongwe uwa kukafiwe na watu alamwikata. The president said we are going to arrest them. Isn't what the president said? It means never they ship. They know them. But uyu ambassador alelanda ati mule katafye tuchisense mule shaba bilimu. Mule shama tiger fish. Mule kata tuchisense. No, go and arrest the real culprits, the masterminds, the people who are causing that theft. Because there's no way theft can be perpetuated to that scale without masterminds. So you know who they are. Yeah, maybe this report, we will come to it. It might have identified who the real culprits are. And those are the people you must go for. Arrest them, prosecute them, punish them. You can't just be talking about small things. And then you say we are fighting corruption. What corruption are you fighting? And then you say we are fighting maladministration. What maladministration are you fighting? What you are doing is creating an environment which actually supports the things which we detest. That is corruption and theft of public resources. Stop this. The American people are compassionate to the suffering majority Zambians. This is why they said we are going to inject money into the health sector, and this money will benefit those who are suffering. You are coming out in a prescription. But umuti aba Americans bali donate. Then by UPND vibe. Stop stealing.
Doesn't it? I think the picture being painted here is that the ambassador could have been a bit misplaced with information, in the sense that yes, he does point out that these thefts are from 2021, but the UPND government and through the president says these were even there in your regime, as Patriotic Front regime. These thefts were there, and they come from as far as MMD. So it looks like it's unfair to point out only in the period of the UPND regime.
The global funds existed during PF. The USA, was supporting the health sector during the PF. They didn't withdraw. The US government is talking about UPND, late 2021 to 2023. Late 2021. Late means the last quarter. That's what late means. Early means the first quarter. Mid means second and the third quarter. Late is the last quarter. Last quarter of 2021, UPND was in power. UPND was in power. So the American people are talking about the UPND regime. They are not talking about PF regime. And because of the hatred that UPND has for PF, this is why they have to go backwards. Even when people are clear, we are talking about your administration. Efila nachira mieba bazaki. Na pakuchita commission project iya apuile ba PF ukwamba no kupwisha, you want to insult PF. No kuya poka kazungula bridge ya bakale commission ndimo apokati yenu ba UPND. Nsoni evuntu. Respond. Late 2021 to 2023. That is the period that has been attached to this problem. Yes, before there could have been problems, but those problems did not lead to the withdrawal of funding. They never led to the withdrawal of funding. The problems that are leading to the withdrawal of funding, to the withdrawal of support to the poor Zambians, is late 2021 to 2023. So you stop using semantics. Stop using English, which is full of lies. Ebenfi abantu ichinka. Mwalitanfyo muntu wenu Nyasulu. Nyasulu, muntu waba UPND, ni UPND Nyasulu. Nyasulu contested elections here in Lusaka by UPND ticket. Victor Nyasulu.
Yes, as mayor.
As mayor. Yeah. And he lost. Bali mutanfya. Bamuingishe nchito kuzamsa. Bamutanfya. Echo bamutanfisha chinshi procurement. Procurement. And whatever it is of that medicine involving 61 containers. Ilelo ba America baisa mukuyirishanya pamutyo bachita donate not yo mwashitire kuma container o baleta fya bene ba upanga ba miletela ati yo twalitamfya Nyasulu ubufi murefu okubika obufi pachintu chiri clear mwamfo. So that means for me, UPND has done nothing on what the American ambassador is actually requesting. This is why they can come and place Nyasulu where he is not supposed to be placed. Today, Nyasulu is demanding an apology from the minister. Mamona is demanding an apology or he will take him to court. What is the minister going to do? Nasheni kono obufi by UPND. Tati murebe pafi obufi chirabushiku bufi. You can't. Nasheni ko obufi. Bukabwalala bwali isula mu UPND. Bukabwalala nomba bwareka, not just the Swedish people failing to invest in Zambia, but now the American withdrawing the support which already exists. They are withdrawing that support which already exists because of failure. This failure is colossal. It's too gigantic. Now, UPND has got to 1 year, very few months, to reverse this failure. I don't know where they are going to succeed. I do not know. And don't think people will ever think those things you are commissioning are yours. Those things are not yours. Those things are for PF. The people that you are trying to cheat by saying by PF dalama, that's why madamu by PF Finshuko, they know that Kafue Gorge was at 80% when PF was leaving. They know that that dam was at 84% when PF was leaving. And you can't come and do 16% and 20% and start jumping up and down on top of the hill at the ridicule of the people who did the real job. That is a vision for the PF. It's a vision for Edgar Lungu. He's the one who did all those things. In addition to those things you are claiming, which he had actually already commissioned, like the Kazungula Bridge. It's very shameful. The Kenyu Bufi by UPND.
Let's get to the forensic audit. I did say in my preamble that we took advantage of your profession as well as an accountant. Yeah. And you would understand, and I think that you've worked in government and in private sector,
yes,
in as far as auditing is concerned. Tell us what the forensic audit was all about and is all about, and how effective is the forensic audit if it's carried out?
Zaki, that forensic audit is an illegal audit. To start with, it's an illegal audit. That's where you have to start from. It is an illegal audit.
How is it an illegal?
That's exactly what I want to explain to you. Zaki, that audit, according to the conversations, the way I've heard them, the American people requested that a private, that job needed to be done by a private audit firm.
Right.
Okay? Now, there is nothing wrong by the American people requesting the Zambian government to contract a private auditor to do the job on their behalf, because the money involved is for the Americans.
Right.
What is illegal about that audit is the manner in which it was contracted. Okay? the UPND government used the Auditor General to contract that audit. You understand?
Yeah.
And the reason I'm sure, or I suspect, why the UPND did that is because of those illegal audits which they contracted, where they went to audit security institutions. We complained, we told them, only the Auditor General can audit security in security wings. That is the Zambia Army, Zambia Air Force, ZNS, in the intelligence. Only the Auditor General can audit those, nobody else. But if the Auditor General thinks there is a particular area that can be done by an expert, the Auditor General can subcontract work from an expert, but that subcontraction of work must be approved by the president in writing. That's what the law says. Now, those audits were contracted by the Ministry of Finance. Ministry of Finance has no mandate. They have no authority. They will never have an authority to contract an auditor to go and audit a security firm or a security agency. They can't. That is the illegality which exists in those audits, illegal audits. For this particular one, it is illegal because the Auditor General, if the Auditor General contracts anyone to do the job, that job must be owned by the Auditor General. The Auditor General must supervise that work and must review that work and must sign that work. So that becomes Auditor General's work. You are just a subcontracted firm. Now, when Auditor General does their work, the audit office cannot report to law enforcement agencies. The Auditor General cannot report to the Zambian people. His client are the Zambian people, that's all. Auditor General reports to nobody but the Zambian people. And Auditor General's report goes to the President and the National Assembly on the same day. You understand? Because these are the representatives of the Zambian people. The same day, so this report has not reached the National Assembly. This report has not reached, I don't know if it has reached the President, but it is Auditor General's work. He's the one who subcontracted PricewaterhouseCoopers. Based on that, I have to tell you, because that report has not been reported to the people of Zambia via the National Assembly, it is an illegal audit. Now, let me tell you, the government can procure an audit service. Section 63 of the Public Finance Management Act allows the government through the Secretary to Treasury to procure an audit service like the one they procured. If they use Section 66 to procure that work needed not to go to Auditor General. The moment you take work to Auditor General, the moment Auditor General plans work and executes, that work belongs to the Audit Office, and the Audit Office can only report to the President and the National Assembly on the same day. Remember when there was an issue of an interim report? I raised some views on that. I said, there's no way the President can be given an interim report from the Auditor General. There is no way. The President does not supervise the Audit Office. He does not supervise the Audit Office. The Audit Office has to start the work, complete it, and just report. Now, the minister yesterday was telling us this report has been finalized. The minister already knows that. And it has been given to law enforcement agencies for them to effect arrests for the people who have been identified in that report. Have you seen?
So in short, you
yes.
are very sure that then, because in this case,
yes.
it's not being handled by the Auditors General, then you are sure this was procured by the Treasury, Office of the...
No, what I'm saying, they have already said it was Auditor General. They themselves said It was Auditor General. They used Auditor General to procure that subcontracting. They said so. So that work was procured by Auditor General. Now, how did work done by Auditor General end up with the law enforcement agencies
And
before it is reported? And by the way, law enforcement agencies don't even act on audit reports. They act on issues. Because those are not professional. Those are not professionals in interpreting audit. They are not. They act on issues that come out of the Auditor General's report by way of deliberation by the PAC and the others. Yes. Because the PAC sits with Auditor General, and Auditor General explains that this issue is actually a criminal issue. It means the following. Then the law enforcement agencies will pounce. But it has gone straight. Desperation by the UPND. You are using wrong procedures every day. You have become experts of illegality. Change. You can't be doing everything illegally all the time. Everything illegally. Everything, including keeping an Auditor General who doesn't qualify, an illegal Auditor General. You can't. You can't. So for me, I feel so bad that UPND can't learn. 4 years later, we are still talking about illegal audit reports. 4 years after they assumed office, still illegal audits. You can't have a government which is so adamant. You can't. So I am sorry, my brother. This whole thing is confused. Even this audit report will cause people problems. That is what I'm telling you now. This same audit report, which Jack Mwimbu told us yesterday that it is with law enforcement, it will cause people harm. It is like, taking a report to somebody and they say, I am a paper, I have FISIP. Tear these papers from the audit report. Before it goes to Parliament, you have already created a problem. Now, these reports are supposed to be delivered simultaneously, a copy to the President and a copy to the National Assembly. Because the client to the Auditor General is the Zambian public, the taxpayer, the one who pays the tax for which you buy medicine that is stolen by UPND.
So, Parliamentary Accounts Committee, in this case, what you are trying to tell the Zambians now is that here is the procedure. So once the report from the Auditors General is presented simultaneously to the President and to Parliament, the Parliamentary Accounts Committee at that point goes through that audit, analyzes it, and the only time law enforcers can come in is on recommendation by PAC that this particular case we feel needs to be investigated by the law enforcers. And that's when law enforcers act on it. Is that what you are saying?
What I am saying is that the law enforcement agencies can act at any time, even before an audit is done. They can at any time, even when the American ambassador was meeting government, during those 33 meetings, the law enforcement agencies could act. But using the audit report as a basis for arrests, it has to be completed and published. You can't use an audit report which is not complete, which is not published. Okay? And by the way, at the National Assembly, there are a number of accountability committees.
Okay.
PAC is one of them.
Right.
We also have Local Government Accounts Committee, and we have a Parastatal Bodies Committee. These are all accountability committees, and they can scrutinize Auditor General's reports.
Right.
Yeah. So this report, if it is Auditor General's report, as it was reported that they used Auditor General to contract it, it can't go to the law enforcement agencies. It has not been completed, as far as I'm concerned. Even what the minister was saying is fallacy. It cannot be the only time Auditor General's report would be completed is when it is laid on the floor of the House or on the table, when it is submitted to the President and to National Assembly. So and the Auditor General can't submit a report to the President alone, to the Executive alone. What type of accountability is that? He can't. If he did that, that is also something that will be considered very serious in the very near future.
Now, let me slightly take you back to the ambassador, who has now been labeled as he is not following diplomatic-laid procedures in terms of bringing out issues of this nature. And I think that also the president stated that in as far as we have been having engagements, we expected that throughout the process of engagement, confidentiality should have been observed by parties involved. But it is also felt as though this has come out aside from engagements, or while engagements are ongoing, the ambassador decides to come out and makes this statement. The diplomatic procedure in as far as engaging government is being questioned on this ambassador.
Okay, so 2021 to 2023, in between 33 meetings, okay, and government does nothing about the requests of the American people. And the only thing government does is, according to the ambassador, is arresting small fish. And if you go to Kariba, you know what a small fish is, and you know what a large fish is, okay? Arresting small fish, like they did, you can imagine. When somebody is talking about the whole value process, abantu abareshtisho emiti mu street, at they don't have licenses. That is not the issue. The issue is mwaliwo omuti obachire donate. So abongana mubekata, it's another issue. It's a Kafiwe issue. We are dealing with a Chongwe issue. Tell us, kuchongwe ni finshifiriko. Ofo tulera umuri omuti obaletera bena America ti fwe bena Zambia ture enwako fwe balwele. Uli kwisa ifo tulera ndapotolanda ati bali abaleshti show muti. Ababula ama certificate, ababula ama licenses. No. So you can't cover up things in that fashion. 33 meetings. No tangible action. Then this ambassador now, his government gets upset and says our people's money cannot be wasted like this. 33 times we have followed these people, we have talked to them, they are not acting tangibly. We will withdraw part of our support. Ambassador Alila, ukulile filamba, ukulila. He said it's a very heavy, he was doing that announcement with a very heavy heart. Very heavy heart. Alidila kwa balanda ambassador, bali obo mulefiru okulidila kwa moba UPND, bali amule ibila, balidila, if you achitika kwa America okufumiako 50 million, it's really heavy. But if at one of those meetings, if the government had acted, it wasn't going to reach to that. But Mwaireta Mfyanyasulu, we went and fired Victor. Victor says today he had nothing to do with the medicine that was donated by the Americans. Although that's also another issue. But yakana. So mwaya kukafiwe. Mresha kuchongo kuli problem. Kabie nife pachongwe muye dealinga no mutio wafubine kwa America. Dealing with this issue. Lekeni uku yokushiria mariashi. Dealing in an issue ya kuibo muti, which the American people actually donated for the benefit of the poor Zambian people. That is the issue. That is the issue. Keep your actions where the issues are. That is what we're asking. But diplomatic. Where was the American ambassador speaking? I thought he was speaking from the American embassy. Isn't that not regarded as America? I thought that is regarded as America. Was he at Pamozi or at some radio station? He was speaking from his country. That decision of withdrawing $50 million was done by his country. But also you ought to be a bit ashamed as UPND government. 33 meetings is too much for you to fail to do tangible, to perform tangible action. It's too much. The American people even offered, to give you specialists.
Investigative.
Specialists in all this procurement management. But Mwaisa cannot prefer a price house who were engaged illegally again by the Auditor General. The Auditor General today doesn't even, maybe if he knows that his report is already with law enforcement agencies, it's a shame. What is he going to say? What is the office going to say? If they know that their report before, so this audit report, this forensic audit report is just like the SEC report. It has been leaked. And it's unfortunate that the minister should be talking about a leak.
What would you then, given a situation like this, you've been in government before.
Yes.
Given a situation like this, what is the government supposed to do? First of all, there's a deficit of 50 million.
Yes.
Kwacha.
Yes.
What do you do as government immediately? Because you need to fill up this gap. And I think that the ambassador was asked this critical question.
Yes.
And he says, we hope that the government will begin to find alternatives and fill up that deficit.
Yeah, but if you are government, you should fear that the perception that you have created because of the realities of corruption and thieving is that you are an unreliable government, is that you are not a caring government for your people. So this perception is going to cause punishment from those who are ethical partners, those who promote transparency and accountability. They are going to punish you. So America has not withdrawn all their support. They've withdrawn part of the support. 50 million is only part of their donations.
Yeah.
Other nations may follow in that. And if that happens, then the gap that will be created will be too huge. Remember, you are the same UPND who has taken away money from the treasury. This in Lusaka and Dollar Duo Courage, where you've taken away that money, you have given a foreigner who has not even created the road yet. They are getting toll fees. So what you are doing is, in Zambia, you are taking away money, giving to foreigners, and then the foreigners who are helping you to plug the gap, you are also annoying them by stealing the very support that they are offering, so they withdraw. So you are going to remain with a terrible situation. And remember, your contracts with these people you have given, for example, the road, the Mutotwe years. So you can't say to Arabwe Mutotwe kwa musebo. You can't say that. Then when you look at God, you can't create a value system which benefits the nation immediately, because already God is being stolen. It's being even stolen through the airports. So you have a problem. When you look at Mukula overturned here. Not long ago, Mukula overturned on the way to Chirundu. Fresh Mukula being stolen, it overturned. So even there, you have to start thinking about systems. When you are talking about lithium, critical minerals, lithium was stolen and caught not long ago. So even there, you need to start creating a proper value system. So you have no system anywhere which will help you to build your financial capability to plug what you yourself are giving away carelessly and what it will be taken away as a result of your bad governance. So my view is that UPND is in a very difficult situation. And the culture they have created within themselves is such that to reconstruct it, it has to take time. It has taken them 4 years, to be this bad. How long will it take them to reverse the badness and be able to make a good government? So they are in trouble. They are in trouble. Even if they stopped stealing today and went to the Americans and said, Tuareko kuiba, the Americans will be asking for evidence of them stopping stealing. Or whoever it is may be asking for evidence of them stopping stealing. But in Minafino Turelanda, there are a lot of people who are looking at how they will steal next. So
are we as a country likely to? Well, I know you stated that it's about trust, and obviously cooperating partners will have to look at, can you trust the Zambian government now? Yeah. Specifically on the American side, I know that this is the second time the ambassador is bringing out critical issues.
Yes.
He complained about the money that was donated to this country as well, amidst the
drought.
The drought.
Yes.
And that's the money that you touched on in terms of purchasing maize. He brought out gray areas around that, and he brings out this. Don't you fear that the American government will lose trust completely on this government?
They have already. The American people have already lost trust in the UPND government. This is why
50 million is a small fraction from what comes to Zambia from the USA. And you want to think that since the bigger chunk is still intact, there's still some trust left.
Let me use my phone to calculate for you what 50 million is. You can't trivialize $50 million. Multiplied by 26.5. This is 1.3 billion kwacha. 50 million is 1.3 billion kwacha. It's a lot of money. Remember, the dollar was at 28.6 just a week ago. So this would be 1.5 billion. It's a lot of money, my brother. But what comes in is around 128 million. They have cut 50. That 50 they have cut must signal very serious problems. Remember, that ambassador cried. Alilile filamba kulila echalelile filamba ule ambassador. Aishibat malaria yalabwela mu Lusaka. Lusaka has been declared a malaria-free zone. PF made it a malaria-free zone. It will come back. Why? Because now you have difficulties to bring the mosquito nets. Now you are going to have difficulties to fumigate. You are going to have difficulties to provide curative medicine, including prophylaxis. So you are in trouble. You are in big trouble. But what may become worse is that other countries become like Sweden. Do you know that it's now very difficult for Zambia to attract investors from the US? But what was UPND telling us? Eko tuwa kwataba nensu kwa America. Bakalete ndarama kwa dinama 25 billion kwacha. We used to hear those things. That's where our friends are, because we are a good team. We are going to attract investment. We are sworn in today. 25 billion will come in. Okay, and that money was being referred to coming to solve the electricity situation. Today, what is the electricity situation with those friends in America? Now, those friends in America are the ones who are saying mwachiramo. Mwachiramo kuiba. Tualeka. Tuambo kufuma. Then, instead of going mwaya papa tabali abantu na imo mwaya ku press conference mwana mukubabe pobu fyati no sorry but we fired Victor. Ukube pobu, you go and cheat again on top of the problem. Takwaba.
Is there anything that the government can do to make this American government change its mind on the 50 million? Is it possible to convince the American people?
Convincing them is another thing. Zaki, convincing them is another thing. But ukuiba bafuire vale kava UPND. They should stop and then go to the Americans and go and tell them that not to let kuiba. These are the measures we have put in place to stop thieving of your donations. In case we have another problem like we had a drought, you donate 20 million tatuakeve. We are going to buy things at market rate, and then we will make sure that all the money goes towards the reason for which you have donated it. No, we have stopped. Look what we have put in place. Then, if we are lucky as a nation, American people may be convinced. And if they are convinced, then these things may begin to come back again. But the thing I fear the most is not the 50 million withdrawal. I fear what may follow from not only America, but other cooperating partners. If we get a chain reaction from everybody, then we are done completely. We are done completely. Because hapa, 50 million, 1.9 billion kwacha. You can go and do something. Even those contracts reckless contracts you signed, you can go and renegotiate. You go and renegotiate, guys. I think because after all, the money which we are using to construct this road is money from the Zambians. It's from NAPSA. Nimpia shama Zambian workers. So tuweze shenfia umseboyu tuambe okufumia mwempia to start plugging that gap. You can do that. There are a lot of care. You can go to Mopani and tell them that yarama shares tuamipela ya free aya kulokulipira tuamipela mine free 51% shares mwasend without paying anything at tuweze shenyama shares. So that every benefit that is coming from Mopani can be accruing to the Zambian people. You can revisit a number of these careless decisions. You can go back to the Tazama and look at your carelessness and say, let's see what we can do. You can cut the price of fuel by just taking correct decisions. Somebody was saying, no fuel na iwela, na change na dollar na iwela, kwa shalo bunga. Are you thinking? Fuel ya 17 kwacha. Fuel was 17 kwacha. Na iwele kuisa fuel. You take fuel to 30 kwacha, you bring it to 20 shine ati na iwele. Abantu bamukwena akatwishi.
This is the Tuesday edition of the Burning Issue. My guest is Honorable Mutotwe Kafwaya. He is Lunte Member of Parliament, former Minister of Transport and Communications, and former Minister of Works and Supply in the Patriotic Front regime. And we are discussing those two critical issues. We discussed the statement and action taken by the U.S. government through the ambassador of withdrawal of $50 million worth of aid towards the health sector. And of course discussed the forensic audit. And we will now give you, our listener, an opportunity to call in and interact with our guest on 0955-221515. You can also send us a message on our Facebook page. It's 5FM Radio Zambia. We'll be glad to have a look at it and read it out. So let's begin by picking up this call. Good morning and welcome to the Burning Issue. Good morning to you.
Good morning. Thank you so much.
How much did you find fuel? If I tell you, are you thinking? If I ask you, are you thinking? Zambia Railways. Above the Pogoranda to Lunte, you are using now some money. Tell us, where did you take the money that you went to borrow at Mrepo Kwani and Jackie? Maya Lecture of Achirwa, Mavaleta Monomusanga, Bachua Numba, expert. How about all of you join your party? Director Machaya Wisa, are you thinking out of fire soon? If I was to tell you to say, but if we can allow us to go and director of my therapy, every day you are university. Tell them we start. Back of fire, Lunte, we know, was my director at Mrekura University. So, you tell Zambians to say you Zambians. And they read between the lines. Not in Dominable Study Zambian. No, don't do that, back of fire. When I say we know, we have what it is.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Bamakondo. We'll take some more on 0955221515. You can also drop us a message on our Facebook page. We're live, and that is 5FM Radio Zambia. We'll take some more calls on 0955221515, and also remember you can send us a text message on the same line, that is 0955221515, and we'll definitely be reading it. Let's take this call. Good morning.
Good morning, Jackie, and good morning, Honorable.
Good morning.
Thank you. Your name's and where are you calling us from?
Moses, I'm calling you from within Lusaka.
Yes, Moses.
Indeed, they say that the two elephants are fighting the grass that suffers. And in this case, we, the poor people, the only that people cannot afford to fly to other countries looking for the health services are the ones who are going to suffer. So we want to appeal to our government first of all. I think that let's be serious when we are looking at matters like this. We are failing to understand that in 33 meetings that they were engaged by the Americans, no tangible they were alleged there, but I think the main culprits in this matter, and I think that the examples were, remember during the MMD was the issue of my member of parliament, and when there was that engagement, a commission of inquiry was said, and she was put aside until she was speaker. Even our hardworking minister, lady, he was said to put aside. So when there was the one container allegation, why was the big people, put aside so that the investigation was carried out? Not that anyone was collapsed, but just to show that you are serious in fighting this corruption. I think that action was supposed to be taken. Everyone, for anybody, under the change of government, first of all, they work for you, top leaders to see, are you serious in fighting corruption? So when they see somehow, managers, executive directors, maybe they are not serious. So I think that let's be serious, because it's a gram. As I am talking to you, I've lost my cousin. He was in hospital for 2 weeks. He had to give up his life. So this is not the police command setting out and PNU and UPNDR. Let's be serious as a nation. We are listening to that. God bless you.
Thank you. Thank you. Same to you as well. Thank you for calling. We've got another caller on the line. Good morning.
Hello, good morning, Zach.
Morning to you. Thank you. Your name and where are you calling us from?
Yes, this is Andrew. I'm calling from Osaka. Good morning, Honorable Kafwaya.
Good morning, Andrew. Thank you so much.
You've spoken very well. So, Honorable Kafwaya, I just want to raise just a few issues. And I'm asking that you try and, just try and make me understand certain things. Because, Mutotwe, which I want to Mutotwe, if I listen to what is coming from the American government, I'm quoting from our government. First of all, we started hearing from this illegal peer president, this girl,
Chabinga.
Chabinga. What the Pilgrim, spoke with so much confidence and before the cameras, he spoke with the confidence. So come as I'm a diplomat. And then from there, we had that press briefing from the ministers, and so if I look at all this, Honorable Kafwaya, I think, first of all, the biggest problem that the current government has is they do not want to take ownership. Therefore, I could say that they don't want to be responsible for anything that is going on wrong. If it was Speaker, they would prefer to blame the previous government. Instead of first of all taking time to reflect and see what the problem is. So they continue missing the opportunities to iron out certain aspects that are raised. The American government, they raise serious allegations. These are serious issues, and instead of taking time to take a dive and check what is really happening, they want to start pointing fingers. And what I might ask now is, I wonder how did this audit report find itself with no enforcement agencies? Because according to the law, that report should have been with Parliament, and the report should have been with the President, because the auditor general procured that forensic, audit. So how did this report find itself with law enforcement agencies? So did the auditor general, Honorable Kafwaya, did the auditor general secretly give the President this report? And if so, and that's what I'm trying to see here. Did the Auditor General secretly give this report to the President? And did the President leak this report to the Minister of Home Affairs? Because the Minister himself confirmed that the report is with the law enforcement agencies. So I want to only suspect that it is the Minister maybe who gave this report to the law enforcement agencies because they fall under his armpit. So there are now this state of confusion and panic, and now they are now creating irregularities. Because trust me, this issue at some point it will be brought out, and some people are going to be answerable. So how did this did you have sight of this report? So let me end here, and I just want you to help me understand, because I'm just trying to connect the dots here, and I want to think maybe the Auditor General, he could have secretly give this report to the President, as well, Mr. President, just as a hint, and then these are the results. I mean, because of now these revelations, and now there is panic, the President also maybe he could have given the Minister this report, and also maybe the Minister could have given this report to the law enforcement agency. And once Mr. Waki has to have some time, the solution to this medicine, the purity of drugs, I think we just need to digitalize as a country. Let us digitalize, and then we're going to cut all these cartels. Thank you very much, and I'm enjoying the program. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much for that. And also, let's see if I can give you one more call. Good morning.
Morning. How are you, Mr. Moderator?
Not too bad, thank you. How are you?
I'm very fine. My name is Philemon from Chiturika, Zambia.
Yes, Philemon.
Allow me to completely disagree with your guest who is misleading the country on this beautiful platform. Number one, he's saying UPN who told you that these unscrupulous individuals who have found into this business are UPN, which means you also you were stealing at Patriotic Front, because this problem, this problem did not start under this current regime. It started way back. What does it mean? Which means all these previous sitting government faced this issue. So when you come on platform, when you are under UPNB, what will happen is pharmaceutical drug stores are found with the leaders of Patriotic Front, what are you going to do? So this issue should not be castaned by politics. What is needed now, solution number one, we need to curb these illegal pharmaceutical, illegal drugs. Because this is a leadership problem, because it's a facer, you know. And no one takes pride in differing of medicine. That's why yesterday, the minister informed the nation that this is just a coincidence. Corrective measures were put in place. That was already put in place. This report that came to Ambassador is just a coincidence. The government is working underground there. You saw what happened in containers. A lot of leaders concerning Lashma containers were suspended, others were transferred. You know? So, this politicking over this medicine, I think it's uncalled for. Because this problem started under your regime. So coming to these issues of saying, are you reasoning, whatever, I think you should respect Zambians. Zambians should be respected, especially amidst this of high cost of living. Look the government, the strides that they have put in place. Number one, minds have been opened there. You know, ask people from Copper Belt how they are celebrating with this new Dawn government. You left Copper Belt a ghost town. You know, a lot of minds would have left under your poor leadership. There was corruption of thinking, you know, was thinking like Roman business. Now this time there is transparency. That's why you are able to see that this information has been divulged to the public. That's what people can digest, you know, can advise. You know, now under your leadership, Mr. Football is flushed out completely. Now we are going to maintain, we are going to advise this ambassador. It's going to be changed. We are going to sit him down diplomatically, you know, so that we chart the way forward over this issue. Government is not saying, no. Government is saying, because this thing has happened under our leadership, so we are going to take the responsibility, which means measures have already been put in place. So this is politicking. I think we should come to an end. Not until this problem is solved.
Thank you, Philemon. Thank you very much for coming. Let me pick one more, and then I think I'll give you an opportunity to speak.
You want me to forget?
No, let me pick this last one.
Okay.
Good morning.
Good morning, Razak.
Mutotwe
Kafwaya. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you so much.
Mkwai.
You know I have sung that song. Their own cadre, who was the chief executive officer at Zamura, Nasuru this morning, Achimapa Hotel, drugs. They want now to up it on me. Ya latest in let me come to the issue. I'm looking at the matter. And the former member of parliament of Malawi, where the administering of antiretroviral drugs to children was started from. Go to Creso to encourage mothers to take their children to be screened for HIV and AIDS. I had to take my own children, 4 of them were adolescents. Records are there. I came out publicly. I was tested. My results were shared with the nation publicly. So are my children. I am a congratulations. Children were being born HIV from HIV positive parents. Why? When they are taking antiretroviral drugs, the viral load goes down if you are taking the drugs. If you are positive, you go to deliver to the hospital. If you are using a normal delivery, when they use therapy to clean your canal can risk their lives because Maloni, but we don't put it in. When our own charity, that's school fees. You're a nurse, you're a doctor, you're a clinical officer. Start looking for greener pastures. Muno alafua. Yara baniro, yara no kona bawiso. As I conclude, the question you as journalists should be asking, because there are orders that they engage this government at the highest level 33 times. Why didn't they respond? Today they are telling America and they should use diplomatic channels. We saw the former president, Trump, was taken over from. I don't put the congratulate him when he was. And he told him, yes, Zambians have stopped, have fought corruption. The youths have done a good job. What insolvency was that president using to insult us Zambians? Wake up, and I'm speaking, I know where I'm speaking from. I was the High Commissioner, Zambian representative to 6 entities at that time, not one. Kenya, UN systems in Kenya, Eritrea, South Sudan, Israel, and the Seychelles. I know. I even said it on other radio stations that to see an ambassador crying, it's like seeing a president crying. In Zambia, we only saw Chiruba cry over the disaster in Yanga Boy. We saw Barukia Banda cry when he lost the election. Kete cried. In 1971, I was still a baby. My father told me when the Mufrira accident happened, shame to the people of Zambia. If you bring these people back in 2026, you'll be buried in 2026. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Honorable, I will let you respond and react.
Zaki, thank you so much. 5 questions. I would like to thank all of the people who have pushed in their views. Of course, my first caller was Mukondo. I will not respond to Mukondo's many things because I think they will just take me backwards. He's talking about PF. The same way PF is talked about when they are commissioning projects which were 80% and 84% done by PF. So I am not going to. The only thing I will respond about him is where he says stop demeaning Zambians, because I said, are you thinking? Let me be clear. I'm telling the UPND government, are you thinking? The ambassador is talking about theft of their donated medicine. You go to talk about Nyasulu. Are you thinking? That is what I'm talking about. The ambassador raises issues. You are talking about sovereignty. This man is talking about the money which comes from their country. He's talking about donations which come from their taxpayer. Then you start bringing sovereignty. Let me also tell you something. Sovereignty does not rest with government. Sovereignty resides with the people. And that ambassador was talking on behalf of the people. So I am sorry. I'm talking about the UPND government. And this also responds to Philemon. Philemon also raises the same issue. And he urges me, be calm. You know, listen to me. Mwadipela mine for nothing. Now, the only money which Zambians are having, the only wealth coming from other people is now being withdrawn. You want me to be calm? I will be calm. Thank you. You want people not to be upset because of the mismanagement of the country. I'm sorry. This country has been mismanaged. This is why you can give away a mine for nothing. This is why you can give away a road being constructed by Zambian people's money, workers' money. You give it to somebody who is doing nothing. You want me to be happy about that? I'm sorry, my friend. I'm sorry. That is not being patriotic. That is being extremely unpatriotic. I am upset with what is happening to this country, and there is no amount of politicking which will change the way I feel. The Zambian people are the ones who are at risk. Madam Mumbipiri has just spoken. Umusungu alile filamba. Just to break the news, alile filamba. Alilo musungu kulila. That should demonstrate the significance of what is happening to our country. There's no way you can ignore such a thing. And you are calling it politicking. Is it politicking that the Auditor General contracted PricewaterhouseCoopers? Is it politicking that every Auditor General's work must be reported simultaneously to the President and the National Assembly of Zambia? Go and check the last paper which was tabled on the table, whether that Auditor General's report is there. Is it politicking? And there's a caller who asked very specifically, tell me, how do you think this report went to the law enforcement agencies? I'm sorry, I don't know. I'm surprised also. I'm shocked. I'm very shocked that the law enforcement agencies have the report. It is Jack Mwimbu who must tell us how it went to those law enforcement agencies, because he's the one who announced yesterday. And from that announcement, I have drawn my shock. I'm so shocked. Auditor General's report can't go to law enforcement agencies. Auditor General's report must go to the President and the National Assembly of Zambia at the same time. It is not there in the Assembly. And yes, do you think maybe the President was given secretly to just, I don't know. But I'm shocked. Whatever happened, I'm completely shocked. Let UPND explain. Let Jack Mwimbu explain how that report has reached the law enforcement agency. It is an illegal audit report. And I have to tell you, those reports will cause you pain. They will cause you pain. I tell you this to warn you. I tell you these things to warn you, because I know those things will cause you pain. They will cause you pain. We don't tell you things out of spite. We tell you these things so you can actually change. Moses, elephant in the room, is us, the people are suffering. We are the ones who, when two elephants fight, two elephants are fighting, when you are giving away property which belongs to the Zambian people, roads and mines, okay, it is you and the rich fellows out there. When we come through to try and hold you account, you introduce cyber laws. So to just circumvent accountability, all you don't want is accountability. That is the main issue. You want people not to tell you that the road has been unconstitutionally given away. Well, we shall tell you so, because you never subjected that giveaway of the road, that transfer of the road was never subjected to a vote of 2/3 majority in the National Assembly of Zambia. We will tell you that you have given away a mine for nothing. For zero amount, you give away a mine, control of a mine, 51% shares. Where in the world have you ever seen anything like that? Elo bali abapokere mine abalanda ti alaba yabena Zambia bakula damu mwayamu kubatuka. And you want me to be smiling, to be happy, to ba UPND bantu sana bale chitefia rondoroka. Luenu akulweni na America. A cadre now calls in the radio station, a UPND cadre, and said, we are going to sit down with the American ambassador. A cadre is now giving proper policy. Let me tell you, my brother, the position of government is that they had a press briefing yesterday, and that is not sitting down with the American ambassador. That is not sitting down. That is talking to him the same way he talked to the Zambian people. So if what this cadre found is that what his government did was bad, I think he should address that. His position is far much better than saying diplomatic channels but imamwa ya ku TV. Mrefu ya na ya ku TV imamwa ya ku TV. But what he's talking about is the money for his people. And he's speaking from his country. That space you gave them, you gave the American people, that is their space, it's their country. Eko badera ndirakudi. What diplomatic channels are you looking for? Imoku ya ku TV to go and start misleading the Americans at Twaditanfian Victor. We fired Victor because of this problem. Is that, are those the diplomatic channels that this colleague of mine is saying they are going to introduce? I'm sorry, Zach. For me, I'm upset about this whole thing. I'm upset because of the Zambian people. I'm not upset because of anything, but because of the Zambian people. And I am not politicking. I am saying things which are there. Things which are there. If Auditor General contracts work, that is his work. He must supervise it. He must review it. He must sign it. He must also report it. There's no way Auditor General can... Auditor General only has power to do one thing, subcontract. One, you can only subcontract. And when you subcontract work, that is your work. And your work can only be reported according to the law. And if a minister comes and starts telling me the Auditor General circumvented procedure, I should be happy about that. When I even know in the audit office the person heading that is illegally there, I should be happy. I'm sorry.
This is the Tuesday edition of the burning issue. My guest is Honorable Mutotwe Kafwaya. He is Lunte, Member of Parliament. We'll take some more calls. Good morning. Fine, thank you. Your name and where are you calling us from? Mishek, your line is a bit faint. I will ask you to speak up. Yeah, much better. Yes, much better. Thank you. Please go ahead, Mishek. From Undola, you said?
Mbitwalishi banokushima kale Mr. Barateko kutira this big failure. There is no way 4 years down the line Papa Tafema blame game. Better don't patch. They don't know Pokoli wa maximum way the media the next about no blame game. Ukubomba tabale bomba. Twali kundola to amona vaisa mkusula down yap the balloon. And it's probably for Tamuna because Twadish Wakutila Deba Pandi about Penguin by Karungu. But you are Bumba Lija, not to blame game. Then it's over Panga Kopekuno Kundora, my toilet, watcher, no twice you upon the Papa Chimbe Chova Panga. Number 4 down the line, put him no kula undermine abana. Wow, Mr. Padi Puba Kumbano of Pimo. Load shedding, ya itakuwa sirimbi. Kufike weka weka over it with. Number 2026, wewe na Zambian resolve kari. Abantu wafwile baya. Mutotwe Kafwaya, kosenso kwewa Zambia chinka. Wena Zambia, badefwa kukushibe chinka. No kukushibe chine. No to ufi. Never will be 2021. Otherwise, who would take over 2026? Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mishek from Ndola. We appreciate that. We've got another one. Let's take this one. Good morning. Nashbuka mwabuka shankwai.
Mkwai nabuka babuka shanabo.
We. Pitir shankwai dande ntu. Natasha. Natasha Nakaonga Mkwai, all the way from Kabwe, thank you very much. We'll take a few more calls on 0955-221515. Good morning.
Good morning, Zach. How are you, my son?
Not too bad, thank you, Brother Chisha.
Exactly.
Welcome, sir.
How are you?
I'm well, thank you so much, Brother Chisha.
Thank you so much. You know, in the first place, Honorable, I'm just here to remind you that these people are speaking on top of their voices. They're creating villages which they don't even belong from. They are calling Kawawa, in fact. Don't mind it. Because Zambians who are suffering, someone can't come and challenge you to say, you left me or how much, and by the time you find it, how much and you left it, how much. Honorable, we all know that PF was in power for 3 years. And after leaving power, the bill 25 kg was at 120, 115. After 10 years, for them, they find the bag of milk at 125, 115. Within 2 years, the milk went up to 450 kwacha. Even if you are agreeing with someone who has never been to school, you can't come and start challenging someone to say, no, have respect for people. When your message was very loud and clear, you said PF. I mean, you said you can be, you should
think. You should think.
You should think. Them, they want to create a situation that no, you are with the Zambians. They are very interesting stories, Honorable. I'm just here to tell you that.
Babufi.
We are able to see. And like you said, yes, Babufi. Like you said, Honorable. Mr. Rasul was on Audit FM this morning. I talked to him. Yeah. I called just like I called you this morning. Yeah. And he refused. He said, these people, what they are telling me to say, no, I'm part of this kind of medicine. I'm not part of it, and according to him, he's going to sue the Minister of Health within 72 hours if he's not going to withdraw the statement. Honorable Minister, where have you seen people, after you find the guilty, moreover, these people are guilty already because medicine went missing. We all know what happened to the 2 containers. These people, what they were supposed to do is just to humble themselves and apologize to American people. But you find that they are busy with him. Who is going to suffer? Is it American people or is that Zambian? Because for them, they want to compete with Americans. No, we're a sovereign state. If you're a sovereign state, why are you not making your own medicine?
Yeah.
But by the end of the day, here is someone, a leader saying, no, these people are complaining about no medicine going missing. We'll start making our own medicine. So if we start making our own medicine, important for people to start telling because they're making your own message. These people, they have felt as honorable and they have not any excuse to give.
Yeah.
I'm just here to encourage you, honorable, to say, please, keep on talking. And as I put, honorable Mutotwe Kafwaya, you are unique. People that they don't know, you are the first person who made the ruling members of parliament to leave parliament as if they belong to opposition. So you are unique, and you are so unique. You are providing leadership in all angles. Thank you so much, Zach. We are listening, and I'm just here to encourage Zambians to say, let's have patience. It's just a matter of time. These things will come to pass one day.
Thank you.
So much.
Thank you, Brother Chish. I've got Catherine on Facebook. Catherine McKenna says, Honorable, good morning. You are speaking well. To be honest, this government, UPND, they don't know anything. Zambians, please, Zambian people, please wake up. The government, this government has failed governing this country. We are suffering. Electricity goes every day, 05 coming back at 23 hours. Everything is in a mess. Everything is messed up. Sorry, I meant to read. Everything is messed up in government. Background, we don't want HH. He's going 2026. Ni mufiriri wafye ukuteka mwafiri wafye ukuteka kuyabebere. We suffered a lot enough. We have suffered a lot enough, and enough is enough. Failure. This is Catherine from Kabanana. Now I've got another text messages from Williams ZM. Williams ZM says there is need for our president to start kneeling. There is no need, rather, for our president to start kneeling down to USA. The USA are the ones who are supposed to be kneeling down for our copper. We can manage to purchase medicines through selling our resources. Please, people, stop saying Zambia is poor. Zambia is not poor. We are in this problem because of you people from federal, like Kafwaya. You believe that us Zambians, we cannot run our own. So, Kafwaya, the USA withdrawing aid to Zambia is a welcome move to do so. All right, that's William. We'll look up for more text on Facebook, but let me give you another call. Good morning. Good morning. Thank you very much for calling. Where are you calling us from?
This is Siloka Gift calling from Kabwe.
Siloka Gift from Kabwe.
Yes, Siloka.
Yes, please, Gift.
Honorable Mutotwe Kafwaya, good morning.
Good morning. Thank you so much.
Honorable, if you mulelo ndola kuchalo nga twakwate tungurushisha mutangoyo aba kukondo la kika mu inside on to aba mutango ndio byarenda iyo mwali iyo pali PF yeti akwate na mashwa ya kutali kawe kondeto alena Zambia noti okulala na dio mulela ya abantu adio kupesa kesa Zambia non Zambian ali mwene ba PF weche babomba mujalo cha Zambia. So, kulanda lyoko batikeza kontanya po bidebe twale bomba no kuita British cyaro ko twachikwatire plan no ti ababa isa munali mubuko abantu bajula pati round wa Mutotwe Kafwaya kandi kwamba ndipandi abakwati ninkala mushishi kwa yo tuamo bena baita bemukusakalala kuba kuba twakala pachinka ni kuikata na balonga ama opposition ni abakoba batwale cyaro panta kino kulanda Zambia pachinka bena baita rechinga cyakula tinya abantu lero tulemu nomba twalima pasweka background epo tuli muri cyaro ko kirekyo n'abana basiwe mu ngo ushipuka yeshani abana muri ukinga to makonta yapo muri uko kwa UPND ko kwa UPND na babigirima lero kuri ba kwa lala niba UPND noti tabale bati mupile ko mwari buka bona mwari yiba kitizo mwari yakanyabandi mwari ko ngure ndamo mwapange bintu mutano abena gato bare sonta na lero to pile sonta lero ngabaita baya kongore ngalama ale kuisha bileja shiro apiyevu no kutambuko cyata kwa kinatu bomba binshi ba UPND ko babombere ngamata no mukabwe tamwa bana mukimo ba UPND ko bakura ko bageza kunta n'ikikati twali bange cyuma kururu twali bange cyuka tondo twali ala panga ila station ya shiro apiyevu bakwirira lero bare cyata kwa kiona babomba mana Mutotwe Kafwaya koseni po nokukoza kwa amanu muri buyabena Zambia ubute bale ya pinki
Namba imwe ba gift olota mulaya imwe muleba tapali cha kusonta po mukabwe ba UPND bale shop te icho ba isula nomba mulungushi textile bale miswila mulungushi textile
taira moneka taira iso mulungushi textile wangu taka kwa kimona batwe bajja mulunguzi bakesula nilali nikuingero batwe bakali mulunguzi atiyo twalaitwa pale anja twapiye kuba bwemja political minded ati bali mwaitwa necho kitamu mulunguzi mulya nga mukya kapala ngalo kuba atiyo mulunguzi kutibaizwa nangu lero nangu mutuni kutibaizwa awe propaganda yo bakwanya bayukenji bashira mu government propaganda anju bali mu power bale bonta propaganda bishake bateke ekyalo
Twatashaba gift. Thank you. Thank you very much. I'll take that as our last call this morning. And now I will ask Honorable to respond or react, and then we can begin concluding.
Zaki, the people have spoken. Those who feel positive about our conversation and those who feel negative about this conversation, they've both spoken. And it is very clear from where I'm sitting that I'm not the only frustrated person with the UPND government. I am not alone. The Zambians, the majority Zambians are upset with the maladministration, with the corruption, with the thieving, with everything that is associated with the bad leadership of the UPND. The Zambian people are clear, very clear. Mishek is saying, tualisunga ma voters card. Twalisunga icho twasungira voters card kwisa abafwa mpulapo ababa UPND, because if they come back load shedding ikesa abashani, how much power will they export? Because these are capable of exporting power even when there is no sufficient electricity in the country. They still export. These are people who are capable of importing maize with aflatoxins and offload on the map onto the Zambian people. They are capable of doing that. And when you quiz them, they even start hiding. Ukweba atitabatuebe ama milling plants ayachitire ubungabu atabatuebe until you push as Zambians. That's when they come and give you a list so that Zambians can be safe. They stop buying meal from those milling companies. It's very unfortunate, very, very unfortunate. Banataonga na balanda very clearly. Mwalikwete 33 meetings yonishta mwaisended as diplomatic. She said a lot of things, few iliparishinga, like responding to that gentleman who was saying that gentleman who spoke earlier, who was saying landa parif. But I also like Brother Chisha when he said you are creating villages where you don't appear to come from. You understand? Maybe Brother Chisha, we are one Zambia, one nation. That's why you can tell. For me, when I'm speaking, even though my voice is hoarse, I know that many people have told me that. My close friends have told me that. But you can still tell that this guy comes from Kafwaya's village, and also he grew up elsewhere. So his voice intonation is a bit confusing. But bambi baromfika funa kufika ta baba tata bareranda pa bapaka patu mission epo bafuma. So even if you mention Choma or you mention Iteji, you are just wasting your time, because us as a people, we have known each other. And we are happy for that. So yes, stop creating villages where you don't come from. Just say where you come from. Like I'll tell you, I come from Kafwaya's village and I grew up in Livingstone, and I'm happy about that. Ubunga bwali pali 120, bungaisafisha pali 450. Efinch if you ilelo you can even jump about and start saying, dollar not wesha. Anyway, Zach, I would say I am happy with what Brother Chisha also says about Iwe Kafwaya. You are unique, and he speaks his mind. I'm very pleased to get a compliment from a brother who sees value from what we do, right? But also is disappointed from the reactions of the UPND, because for him to say, Baisa Butuka, it doesn't mean he's happy. He is shocked. It has never happened. They are not supposed to run away from questions. They should respond to questions. But badi Mutotwe, yes, that's a correct. Ngafyakosa, they will either run away nangu ukubepo bufi like what we are hearing now. Catherine, Valandana through Facebook, and let me tell you, we used to hear that load shedding will be taboo in UPND government. Those words were used. It will be taboo. But look at load shedding today, my brother. Look at it today. Today, when they are saying the Kariba is doing far much better than it was doing during the time of the drought. But here we are. Abanenso nabo ba William ati ba America ebo bese mukutufukamina ifwe feta tufile okufukamina ba America yo, we can pay for medicine using our copper. My brother, you need to consider what our situation is. Who owns the copper mines? Ninani? Even the two mines which were in the hands of the Zambian people, Mopani and KCM, Mopani has been given away to the foreigners for nothing. 51% shares is gone. UPND has given away 51% shares for nothing. Then KCM has gone back to Vedanta. All the mines in northwestern province are owned by foreigners. So what we can pay for medicine using our copper. Which copper is yours? Make considerations. PF got Mopani and he was going to also remobilize the KCM for some copper to belong to the Zambian people. But where we are now, sorry my brother, all the copper belongs to those who own the mines. Some of the copper which should have belonged to you 100%, you own now only have 49%. And you are in trouble. And the gift Sloka from Kabwe finally speaks on what is on the ground. He appreciates our conversation, and he talks about how people are suffering and how UPND has failed to do anything in Kabwe. Kuma kuluruta kwa vanangu chimo choba chitako ba UPND. Kwana golita kwa vanangu chimo choba chitako ba UPND. Nothing. Atibaya puisha bus stop ya tampire ba PF. Ero bare chitako bisho nisha umfuire fa barandre. I shudder to think of what was said about PF when they were completing it. But recently I was in Southern Province. That same similar bus stop has been created in Choma. It is there. It is there in Livingstone. It is there in Kasama. So PF was thinking about the people of Zambia. That's why I will not answer hatred. Because umuntu na miebati from late 2021 to 2023, and this is the conversation we are having. Why should you take me back to Zambia Railways? What is the point? And if with this government, which is good at arresting PF members, why has it failed for 4 years to arrest the thieves who stole the money? Why should it not? You are taking me to the universities where people paid mobilization and they never continued because, and you know why? We had COVID. COVID disrupted things. The same way the drought disrupted things, but you are fortunate as UPND, you got donations from the American people, 20 million. The Americans are complaining about how you used the $20 million. So you are in trouble to think about things in that fashion. How you are supposed to think is to look at where you are and what we ought to do right. Right now, to do with this issue with the American people, respond to their issues, respond to them adequately, and show that the measures you are going to institute are measures that are going to change the situation, and then go back to them. Go back to them. If you are demanding diplomacy from the American people, you too must be diplomatic. If the Americans go to radio, and you also go to radio, but you are calling for them to be diplomatic, then you are being hypocritical.
Honorable Mutotwe Kafwaya, I appreciate that you came this morning, and thank you very much for again showing up each time we call on you to show up. I know that today is a day that has been declared the Day of National Mourning in honor of the former minister in Rogers Chongwe, one of those committed and dedicated Zambians that served this country with dignity.
Yes.
And I wanted to take your thought at the
I-
end of the program.
Well, just to reiterate my condolences, I think, which I already passed. I
Right.
visited the house of the late minister
Yes.
to sympathize, to mourn and sympathize with the bereaved family. I do think that Dr. Roger Chongwe saved us with dignity. He did the best he could for his country, and I think he should be remembered in that fashion. This is what most of us would want, to be remembered well, that we saved our people well. And I am happy that there are a lot of lessons to learn from the life of the late Honorable Dr. Roger Chongwe.
Indeed. Thank you very much once again for coming.
Pleasure.
Well, listeners, that's what we had for you today on our program. That was our guest, Honorable Mutotwe Kafwaya, and of course he is a Member of Parliament for Lunte constituency. He is former Minister of Transport and Communication and also former Minister of Works and Supply. Thank you very much also to our partner radio stations that carried this program live. Millennium Radio here in Lusaka. Thank you very